like there's a couple ways to approach the retention problem, and every app, no matter how perfect, has a retention problem. Right now, 80% are dropping off in 2 days. Very common, right? And like for when I talk to my clients or anybody out there is like, Phil, I'm just frustrated.
So I do this project. I tell there's some information about what we're doing, where we present in a conference about functionalities. So I just bringing this topic in my family into norm. So it's not out of the taboo into norm. That it's okay to talk about your health openly, even about your health. We use like stickers, like my favorite stickers with the text "Life begin at direction."
Yes, but right.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
yeah. Some say conception, but no, there's a step before you need that.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, everybody. We have Denis Galka here, CEO with Sequoia. How do I say that?
Sequoia.
Oh, I love the name. A man's kind of expert, and I'm very excited about this conversation. So, Denis, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself and a little bit about this industry and the app that you've created?
Thank you. Sure. Hi, Phil. Hi, everyone who will later see or listen to this conversation. I'm really happy and thank you for inviting. My name is Denis. I am CEO and founder at Sequoia Startup. Previously, I have 13 years of experience in product and project management. Last 5 years, I quit my job and decided to set up my own business. While we like my own startup, when we thinking about idea, we choose such sensitive and like stigma taboo topic like men's health. For us, for men, sometimes it's not easy to talk about our health issues, about mental health issues, about sexual health issues, overall health issues, because of taboo, stigma, because of men don't cry. I'm a man, I can't complain. But still, we some from time to time we have some ill diseases, and in the world, Philip, can you imagine about 1.8 billion men who suffer from different types of sexual dysfunction and urination problems, erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation, and low libido. There was an interesting study in the US in 2005 that revealed that only 2 out of 10 men seek help who face such issues. 80% of men do nothing because of shame, fear, embarrassing. But we understand that if you do nothing, it can lead to serious problems. So,
and it's more than that, right? We get distracted. We focus on work or fun or whatever we like to focus on, and sometimes it's more fun not to deal with our issues. And I have a little bit of joke. My grandmother says, who lived to be about 90, 93 or 94, we're never really sure, but she goes, you don't go to the hospital because they will find something and you will die from it. Right.
Yeah.
So there is this, I mean, this is a joke, right? But this is the perspective, especially for older men, right? And definitely by our own nature, it's kind of better to put our heads in the ground sometimes. So I'm sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, it's true, because my dad, he's 65 and he hates visiting doctors. Because like it's better to lie, to bear, to take some pills, but not visiting doctor. I don't know why, but still, tell you honestly, I am 36 and I have had my personal case as well. And when I was 23, one day I got a cold that lead to some urination, like pain after urination. And you know what I did? I did nothing. I was embarrassed to visit the doctor. I think that okay, I will bear, and I hope that it will go by itself. Yeah, but
Oh yeah.
unfortunately,
Yep.
with the time, it became worse. And
Hmm.
finally, I went to a doctor when it became completely unbearable, and got some treatment, but the disease was gone. But some questions in my mind remained. Oh, Phil, why I was so ashamed to visit a doctor? Why I was so afraid to talk something which is natural for me as a man? And
Yep.
later, when we decide searching for idea of startup, this topic, men's health topic, like deeply reflected to me, because I had my personal case, and I clearly understand what does men feel when they face such issues, and how difficult for them sometimes ask for help.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. So
So
you've had that experience early on in life, which
yeah,
helped you
yeah,
understand your generation intimately.
yeah, yeah.
And then probably as you start talking to people, you're like, wow, it's just not my generation, right? It's just not my school, right? Or my neighborhood. It's you get out there, you start asking questions and hearing stories. This is one of those things when you start talking about it, especially this kidney thing, this pain in urination. Lots of guys have had this. So you probably start talking, and then you hear, oh yeah, I had kidney stones, or I had this infection, or yeah, I had this STD and it got fixed. And right, you start hearing the stories, they start writing once you open up. But if you don't know, nobody opens up first, what happens?
Mm. Yeah. What was the question? Sorry, or you just.
So it's more of a illustration that's until somebody starts sharing,
Mhm.
nobody really expresses that they have these situations in life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I am like, for now, it's kind of like an ambassador of men's health, and I feel
Yep.
no shame to talking about this. And I think that it's okay to have some diseases from time to time. We're all humans; we can disease, but it's not okay to do nothing when you have disease.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And the maturity is in attacking it early.
Yeah, yeah. So I talk about this freely with men, with women, and all, want to help every, like, my mission is to help men change attitude to their health, intimate health, mental health, overall health, and develop a habit to pay attention to it, and live long and fulfilling life. Like, to be just happy, more happy.
Yeah. Yes. This is a good mission, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
it. Like, most people I talk to, like, their mission is like, I don't care how, I just want to get rich. Or I'm like, cool. Let's start with a mission. So, Dennis, you have an amazing mission that's changing lives. How many men, like, just off your app, right? Because you can tell how many installs you have.
Yeah.
Okay, I have two questions. First of all, how many men have you reached, or do you think you've reached?
Mhm.
And the second question is, how many of those installs do you think are from the girlfriend or wife or mother, right? The woman in their life that said, you will pay attention to this now.
Yeah, thank you, Phil. It's really good questions. First of all, asking your first question, we have more than 30,000 installs. 30,000 installs. All of them organically. So we haven't launched marketing campaigns. And Your second question is, how many men or women out of this amount? Yeah.
Yes.
Frankly, I don't know. We pay a special attention to the anonymity. We clearly understand this quite sensitive topic. We know that every data can be stolen, and it's for us, for early stage startup, it's better not to even know about who installed, because it's sensitive data, and once it can be stolen, we don't want to be responsible for it. So for
Yep.
now, we just not collect any data, and on each conversation with investors, we pay attention to it, like that. We are seriously treating these questions.
That's interesting. I have mixed feelings on that philosophy. One is privacy is the first thing, right?
Yeah,
Especially an app like this
yeah.
starts with privacy. The second is that you can get a lot of data very well that's not related to anything of a particular user or class users. So, for example, you can get like the average usage on a page, where things break down, for example, where X number of users decided to join the app or not join the app. All this, nobody says, okay, cool. You know, I'm in a pool of 30,000 people and they realize that after 2 months, 10 people dropped off, right? Or whatever. That's not what I consider sensitive analytics. Maybe the question I asked was a little too sensitive, being, you know, how many of those were women, right? That did that for their significant others. But maybe you could do a survey online where you're like, yeah, you installed an app. Maybe it could be just a general survey. Like, hey, ladies, how many of you have installed a man's health app for your man on his phone, maybe with or without his permission? I'm not going to ask the details.
You know, you touched very interesting topic, like because we also have hypothesis that it's better to promote our app for women, not just men, because women, it's those who mostly interested in their man be healthy.
Yes,
Yeah,
they do, right?
Yeah, and I have one more interesting statistic that women can just but no, 80% of purchases in drugstore and pharmacy are made by women. You know, and and women can also book an appointment for their man to doctors, physician, and even to barber shops.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Personal story,
So it's
right? I had kidney stones. And of course, I waited until I was passing out while I was driving before I went for help. Normal, right? Every man is like this after all. And so finally, my wife takes me to the hospital and she goes to the edge because she's freaking out because she doesn't like to drive that much in the first place. And the police come and say, dear, you have to go. You cannot stay here. And she's like, I'm just waiting for my husband to get out of surgery. They're like, so what? And she's like, my husband may die over there and you have no sensitivity at all, right? Like this, but this is why women go through stuff with their husbands, right? Just like this. And now it's gotten to the point where they don't know if the guy is going to live or not. They may have kids or may not, right? And they have all this anxiety. Us, like I went through the operation, I didn't care. And it was like, okay, cool, I'm done. Right. And I got out and my wife was like all upset. I'm like, okay, baby, chill out and let's go back to work. Right. And I went back to work. You know, I might have dropped a few things during that day or whatever, but very different mindset on how problems get solved.
Yeah, sure. We're quite different. It's very interesting, like how to better promote the app, because sometimes it's not easy because of marketing campaign, almost every time banned by artificial intelligence because they see some trigger words for them like orgasm, masturbation, sex, and thinking that we are selling porn. Yeah, but we're not about porn. We're about health. Yeah, and it's challenging, like how to promote. Maybe it's a topic are not so viral. Men are not won't
Men are not
share,
interested.
like telling. So we decided to collaborate with doctors, healthcare providers. We are members of the United Nations partners, of the United Nations Population Fund. We member of the World Association for Sexual Health. So so we use like different approaches how to get this to men. And so thank you one more time for your podcast. Maybe some men will listen it, and thinking that okay, maybe it has sense to install, or just to started thinking like more wisely about my health.
Yeah, and guys, I'm going to put the link to the app in the description details below. So when you're done listening to the podcast, right, or right now, do it, because I can tell you, right, like another 20 years with great sex and happy health life makes for a better life, even if you die young, right? Make those good years count.
Yes.
Some dark humor in there.
I think about humor. It's also very interesting things. We use like stickers, like, and my favorite stickers with the text "Life begin at erection."
Yes.
Yeah, but
right.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Some say conception, but no, there's a step before you need that.
Yeah. Just leave me your address, and I will send you the sticker and sticker pack. So because it have sense like to add a piece of humor, because it's topic so serious, and that humor is all every time is good, like to reduce the stress barriers, and like talk openly, wisely. So
yeah, so you're an expert in this, and I can see you've looked at a lot of the aspects. I've heard that for erectile problems, about 70% of it is more mental than physical. Is that far off? Is that kind of like a real stat, or is it kind of just like it's really the opposite?
it depends. It depends for sure. It also depends on your pelvic floor condition, because on your mental condition, on your back condition as well. Because it's one part, and it can be like it tailor. So it can start at, okay. Let's I give you an example. Let's imagine like person Steve. Yeah, he can get some stress, like sleep badly, and or maybe have drink too much alcohol on the weekend, and have like bad case in erection. So physically it's not he's okay. Yeah, but it's because of the stress. It can like have erectile dysfunction that just once, but then he may started thinking that okay, I have problem, I have issues, and then like mental aspect like switch on, and then he started developing this case, and it can affect more and more on his erectile function. So it depends. It can be like in most cases it both. So it can be physical only for elderly men, but for younger men it's mostly like mental aspect. So, but only doctor, only specialist can say after tests, after talking, after analyzing what was the reason.
Okay, so you have to bring in a doctor professional, but you also know how to talk to a doctor, because we have like 5 minutes with a doctor, if that, when we go to the clinic, or obviously you're not going to the hospital for this. It's not something just you fell out the window, broke your arm. You got to kind of schedule this, know how to communicate.
Yeah, but maybe it's not necessary like to for first appointment go to hospital. Maybe it have sense to consult with urologist, sexologist, psychologist. So for them like to get some like initial screening, and
Hmm.
then like specialist will tell you, okay, like go and pass some test, or just you have to sleep well, like do exercises, meditation, and everything will be okay. So it depends. But in our app, we also can provide such ability to book meeting with a specialist,
Okay.
like and do it remotely, do it with a good quality and the lower price. So the idea was that today is world is changing rapidly, and there are a lot of
Hmm.
refugees, relocators, digital nomads, expats, whatever. And sometimes for people who live not in their original country, it's not easy to get some basic medical support, some help,
Yep.
because of different barriers like insurance, religious barriers, even language
Hmm.
barriers and stuff. You have to wait a lot, and that's why we decided like to implement this solution. Like the people can find doctors
Yep.
who speak their language with no needed to waiting a lot, with appropriate quality and lower price. So something like this.
Even better. Your wife doesn't need to know
Mhm.
you're going to the doctor. You don't have to drive to in front of this clinic, and everybody's going to say, "Yeah, I saw your car parked in front of the sexologist's office. What are
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
doing, Dennis and Phil? Come on."
yeah. So we attempt like to, want to reduce this level of stress of for men, like to get this
Yep.
first step, like to doctor, to make to specialist, psychologist, to have this meeting, and then started improving his health.
That's smart approach. That's a smart approach. I like that.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. And the reason was also I thinking I spent a lot of time thinking, reading like why people so afraid to visiting sexual health specialist. Why? When I have back pain, when I have headache, stomach ache, I go to doctor. But when I have some pelvic floor issues, I'm shy. I don't want.
Just
And I think,
just for the sake of letting people know, can you describe the pelvic floor? Because everybody knows what the back is. Not everybody understands the manhood of pelvic floor.
yeah, pelvic floor. It consists of some like organs, like penis as well, like prostate, bladder, and stuff. There is in pelvic floor a very important muscle, which is called like pelvic floor muscle, and it's used for training your erection as well. Because if person sitting a lot, like your muscle like quite some kind of stigmatized, not stigmatized, like your muscle not working, and if you have a lot of lack of physical activities, when it's needed to have firm erection, so its muscle is weak, and its strength not enough to have good erection. So it's
Yep. Speaking of, I'm going to stand up because you got me thinking. Jokes aside, I got a standing desk, because I sit too much in my job. It's a lot of programming and conversation, so I spend way too much time sitting. So I got one beautiful standing desk, and I always forget to use it. So this was a good cue.
Yeah, it's to train this muscle. There is a very useful exercise which is called Kegel exercise. It was invented by Dr. Arnold Kegel. It was for women originally,
Yep.
but then the doctors realized that it also great works for men as well. So you can do this. On even right now, like when you're driving, when you're sitting, when you work, and nobody knows, but you
Yep.
still like have some contracted like squeeze and relax, and you
Yep.
train. Yeah, it's great, and I think that is good. No need like go to gym. No need to have special equipment for this. So
That's
it's
it. It's
just
only like 4
easy. Yeah,
muscles.
yeah. So I strongly recommend and suggest all men like to read a bit more about this exercise and just try to do it because it's very powerful and useful for men's health, and also very useful like to cycling very useful, and
Uh-huh.
motorcycling very useful, because when you're riding you have some this like
This impact,
hits
this kind of vibration.
you yeah vibration, and it's indirect massage of your pelvic floor muscles.
Okay, ladies, hear that?
Yeah,
Dennis is recommending for the long-term sex and health of your husband, motorcycles. Thank you.
and and, and
Just
cycling
did a small
as
favor.
well.
Okay, it's like
Yeah, so
okay, and
mhm.
motorcycles.
Uh,
Cycling may be better, but motorcycles, come on. Just saying.
yeah.
I'm joking because
Motorcycling,
my wife says no motorcycle.
but motorcycling is more fun than cycling for men.
Yeah, they're both great, right? Mountains and all that is fun. But there's nothing like having a little bit of gasoline under your lap. Just try to say that
Mhm.
in a friendly way.
Yeah. I also saw some podcast where some doctor said like women's if your girlfriend or your friend he passionate about cycling or motorcycling, be sure that with his sexual health is everything okay.
Is everything
like
good,
it,
right? Just know, right? If you're looking for a
yeah,
friend to play with,
yeah, like a tip, like a little tip, like so. But pay attention what kind of sports your friend uh, are doing.
nice, nice, good tip, good tip. The let me ask. So you come from a background of a developer, software development.
No, so I started as a QA engineer, like quality assurance, but
Mm-hmm.
I also loved to do something like to manage people, like to run like companies. I passionate like this idea was very close to me, and so when you started in a IT sphere from very low degree, position like quality assurance, you can choose. You can go to developer, like grow to developer. You can grow to business analysis, design, or maybe manager. So your choice was product and project manager. And if we started talking this thing, I can share with you a very interesting case that I had on my first job with my boss. uh, I also had some ideas about startup, and one day I had another one idea that I wanted to share with my boss, and I dropped him a message, like ask for 5 minutes to share this my brilliant idea, and he agreed. And when I came to his office and share it, he listened to me very attentively, and then said that in a couple of sentences that it won't work, that it's bullshit. So for sure, I was disappointed. I lose my mind. And he said, like, so Dennis, now you understand why this idea won't work, but this is okay. I want to ask you, please, if when you will get these ideas lately, please don't kill them. Just share it with
Share
your
them, bring it to
friends,
me,
share
and
it
I
with
will kill
your
them.
yeah. Yeah, share. And whatever it crazy bullshit idea, silly, foolish can be, but you at least you will laugh at it. But one day you will get this. You will get an idea that will become something bigger, become project. So I remember his word like as it was yesterday. And when
Uh-huh.
those conversations helped me to make this step. Like when I decided to set up my startup, because
So he
he
inspired you.
maybe, yeah, he inspired me, and this inspiration I took with me for a long 8 years before I decided to start.
Nice, nice. And you started this project about 5 years ago, and 1 month became official from what I see on LinkedIn.
Yeah. It's but it was a long, hard way. We launched just not 5 but 3 years, 2 years. We launched. We decided to do this in 2020 when the pandemic started.
Uh-huh.
It was, yeah, and it was a lot of barriers, problems, and we started again. Our team changed. Someone came, someone gone, and so it was hard way. Like to do startup, it's not so easy and not so romantic as it can as
Oh,
people
yeah,
can.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I was about to say
but still,
5 years and 1 month in, and you're an overnight success.
um, yeah, I know that every startup is a marathon, because it's only in the movie you can see the guy who just started, and in a couple of months
Uh-huh.
he gets this investment. So real life, it's quite more rough. It's more
It is
difficult.
quite a bit more rough. You've been through
Yeah.
funding stages. Just even from the date that the guy says, "Okay, I agree, but I have to do due diligence." Right?
Yeah.
I agree with you. I'm going to give you money. Now let me verify how, and then to getting paid. How long does that take in your experience?
Uh, like to get to find money, like for.
Yeah. So you've done some fundraising before, right?
Yeah, we haven't fundraised because it was like pandemic. Then it was another obstacles. Like I'm from Belarus. There was a revolution in Belarus, and the war between Russia and Ukraine started, and
Oh,
we had some soft commitment with investors. But then they say, okay, guys, nothing personal, but we will stop our agreement. So for now, we also thinking and make some hypothesis testing. We decide, okay, let's implement such functionality, and we will like skyrocket in. But then no, okay, let's try another function. And for now, we realize that we did a lot. We did a great product. Sorry. But now it's time to fundraise. So we
yep.
officially started fundraising. You
Okay.
can so LinkedIn profile, and now focusing on it.
Okay. I'll share some horror stories.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to mention any company specifically. I'm just going to some kind of stories that just happen often. Uh, and just like your use case, right? You have funders that are interested. Something happens. It rains somewhere. Somebody's dog dies. There's a war next door, right? Millions of people are dying, right? Um, things happen. So you'll get people to say, yeah, I'm going to fund you. This is great. Send me over the full packets, right? And now I'm going to start looking into your business. And it can go in a couple directions. One is they look at your business and now they decide to do it themselves. The other is they take that information and they use it against you. Another is that, yeah, they decide to fund you, but it takes 3 to 6 months for all the legal agreements and the vetting and everything. So you think you're going to get funded on Friday and it's next year. It's various degrees of this is what I see a lot. And if you're hoping to have that for the first time fundraising, the most difficult, right? because you don't have any kind of proven history. Nobody's trusted you before. Following rounds become easier from what I see in general, right? As long as, like, you don't even have to meet all your targets, right? You just have to kind of progress, because targets are a funny thing in reality. But the whole thing is, how are you dealing with the people that send you money? How are you performing? How are you growing? Cashing them out, bringing in new investors. It's very complicated and dynamic environments. It's not easy for, I think, anybody.
Yeah, I agree with you. There are a lot of variants. They can stall you. They can copy you. They can
sometimes
do
competitors
everything.
will come in there just to mess you up.
Yeah. But I'm just thinking it's like quite easy. Like, so if people started copying us, so it means that we are good, and we
Yes.
have market. The idea is relevant for like the idea has product market fit for now. So it's a good sign. So I will just, if like potential investor will say that we need some time for due diligence. Okay, guys, it's great.
Take your time. You can't rush them.
Yeah.
There's some stuff you can do to speed up the process, which is obviously being prepared ahead of time, have all the documents, make sure you're doing accounting. I cannot tell you how many of my clients say, Phil, I don't want to do QuickBooks or FreshBooks or anything just right. I have my bank statements and I have my notepad and the rest is in my head and I'm good. You should trust me if they want to invest with me. I'm like, that won't be good enough. Just letting you know, right? And it's a lot of this little stuff that shows your maturity in the game that can slow you down or speed you up. And of course, I've seen that you have a pretty good presence. You actually have an amazing presence online, which is quite impressive. So like kudos, right? This presence carries you very far because you already have a bit of a reputation. And if it's been a consistent one, especially over a year or 2 years, then it shows that you're stable and they can really just look at to see what you're saying to them, how it correlates to what they're seeing publicly. And it doesn't have to be the exact same thing because there's like nobody shares stuff outside the marriage that doesn't belong outside the marriage. Right. But there's stuff you say publicly and is it making sense? Are you kind of growing? Are you all over the place? How consistent are you? These things really help speed up the process too. Just from observations I made over my young youth.
You have to be persistent. It's a key. So just keep going, keep doing, never give up. Like believe in what you are doing. Give people value, make them life easier, make them life happier. And this is the key to success. Maybe for now, men's health topic it's not so trendy, but I sure that one day that things will change and some celebrity, maybe who knows, Donald Trump, Elon Musk can post just one line in their social media that I started thinking on my men's health, and this will be enough, like to become because
but it's hard for people to do that in the first place. I think when you look at the individual, right, like what's affecting individual lives, that's where you can really gain traction, right? So one of these things that, like the whole thing of this man's health is, sure, a lot of us are drawn into it from some obvious like kidney infection or kidney stone or urinary tract infection or intimacy problems, right? Those are like the big things. And these are like wake up signals to us, but more so to the women around us that love us, right? And then if you realize that, if you want to be able to control like these peeing functions and such functions when you're older, right? You start younger and you don't have that thought until something happens. or
Yeah,
until you
yeah.
see it. If you see it in like an older family member, but I don't know. A lot of people around me, I don't know about you. Well, so when I'm in Europe, I think that there's a closer connection to the family around you, the older family. But in America, it doesn't seem like there's a big connection to like pay attention to what your grandparents are going through when they're in the home, right? Or all this stuff, right? It's like kind of like, yeah, they're old. They're going to be happier in this home. I'm going to send them. And nobody kind of takes the time to say, well, am I sending them because they're going to be happier or because I don't have time to deal with that and what all that means? So they don't see it. They're protected from it. But I think in some parts of the world, you really see it.
Yeah, I can tell about my family. Today I'm in my parents' house, and I know that there we are from different generations, my parents and me, and maybe from times, sometimes for them it's not like okay to talk about these issues, but like when I'm just asking. First of all, I'm asking how they like feel themselves. How do they have any issues with health? If I can to help something with some cases, I know some doctors, some physicians.
Yep.
Tell me more a bit. So I do this project. I tell just some information about what we're doing, where we present in a conference about functionalities. So I just bringing this topic in my family into norm. So it's not out of the taboo into norm, that it's
Yep.
okay to talk about your health openly, even about your health issues. So I want to repeat that it's okay to have some issues, health issues from time to time. We are humans, but it's not okay to do nothing. So please, if you have something, if you feel not okay, please tell me about this. I'm here and I will support, and we will overcome together everything, because we are family. We are the closest people in the world. Why?
Right.
Why not? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hell
Please.
nuts.
Yeah, come on, guys. Yeah. Well, why are you kidding?
That's very sweet of you. My parents, I'm 10 years older than you. I'm a decade older, so my parents have that extra decade on them, and they're even more stubborn. So the way I attack it is two things. Of course, I make jokes about it, right? Because we like to make jokes, and then we kind of, it kind of gives them a fun way to into it, because they're sarcastic also, as me. And then it's like, I'm like, okay, cool. Look, I'm getting old. In about 10, 15 years, I'm going to face what you faced, probably, right? Genetics is a beautiful thing like that. This is the gift you gave me that keeps on giving. So what do I expect? What should I expect? And then they can say, then it's like, oh yeah, well, let me tell you, the real thing is this, that. Yeah, and you're going to have this problem. The mother is laughing and crying at the same time, right? And there's different ways to turn on that spigot.
Yeah, for sure. It's great, and I agree with you that just to be trying to be close to your family, like talking, meet in person, if you can, like asking about how they are, and then we'll, because when I was younger, when I was child, they were responsible to me. Like now, I started like helping them in some cases, and this is my role, current role, and I understand that I am today like people who have to do some solutions, some decisions, make some decisions to make their life easier. So our roles a bit changed. Yeah, and it's okay.
This is a son's responsibility or daughter's responsibility.
Yeah, responsibility. One day, my children will like make responsible for me. So it's life. It's okay.
Yep. I got 3 boys. A few months ago,
Oh,
I was walking with the middle one. Oh God. I thought I was done at 40, but God had other plans. So I Unfortunately, I didn't have this problem, right? But but no, it's great. I love all my kids, even the planned and unplanned. My love children, right? But I was with the middle one, and I'm walking, and I'm like, in about 15 years, you're going to have to fetch me out of some random house and just explain that I'm crazy and not violent.
Mhm.
It just tease them, like, like one day I'm going to be old and senile. And hopefully it's not 15 years, but just get it. It's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, what else I can tell you about my product, or just about men's health?
Oh, well, let's talk about your product process a little bit, right? This is it's not very often that I see people that really put a lot of focus into the onboarding process. Most people, like the most focus I see people are like, I don't want any kind of resistance. So they sign in with Google SSO, and then they are just expected to know what happens in the app, and they can do whatever they want. But your process, which is one that I like, and I'm curious if it's just this way now or if it's in transition, is that you have about, if I remember properly, 6 or 8 onboarding screens that say, hey, this is the process and the mission, and kind of warms them up to your whole concept. Where's your evolution on this, and how did you get to this point?
Speaking about onboarding, we test in different variants. For now, we when we started to study our data deeply, we realized that people install an app organically. We have about 1,000 installs per month, but user install, pass the onboarding, and then like do some exercise, field tracker, and churn in 1 or 2 days. So, and we see significant churn, and I started asking me why it happened. So to find the answer, I went to my customers and do some customer development interview, and I realized that men don't want exercise. Men don't want exercise, but they want to have some instant effect. But we are not a Viagra. Yeah, we're not a Viagra. We to see first positive changes into your health, you have to perform at least 21-day regular exercises. So, but still, but how we have to give our users something to motivate them keep going this 21 days. So we decided to test something, to implement some reward system, like to motivate them, like, because men love games, and to implement some kind of gamification,
any kind of competition or games.
Competition, games, some awards, rewards, something like this. We're thinking about it, like to motivate them, keep doing, not charm, like, because into 21 days you will see this result, because I know 100%. So if you will continue, you will see this result. And people, our users who did it, they saw. In 2 years ago, we conducted a survey into app, and as a result, 79% witnessed positive changes in their health, overall sexual health. So I know that this is work. This is not it's not placebo.
No, this is science.
This is science. So, but our challenges for now, like, to realize, like, what we can do, how we can adapt, like, our app design, like something like this, to help men to keep doing, not churn, not give up. So, and as well, we're using some different approaches, like something mechanics. For example, in the next release, we will ask username to use it later across the app, because the name is the most pleasant sound for every person in the world.
When you use somebody's name, it feels like you're talking or addressing their problem?
So it's more personal. It's more close. You can use like every name, so not just your name. If you're afraid, but we have some
Yeah, a
a
nickname
line.
works.
Okay. Nickname, anything that it's okay for you. And then we will use it across the app. So to ask, to motivate, because the barrier is lower when you ask. My mom told me like Dennis. And it's pleasant for me. My close friend
Yeah.
name me. We also have to want to become like a close friend for men, not just to
Mm-hmm.
be a personal doctor. We want them to be a friend who will help, who they can ask some sensitive questions, maybe, or men's territory for support, for learning some stuff, for some that can help improve their health and life and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice.
So this is the
It's powerful stuff you're doing on that. It's these like there's a couple ways to approach the retention problem, and every app, no matter how perfect, has a retention problem. Right now,
yeah.
80% are dropping off in 2 days. Very common, right? And like for when I talk to my clients or anybody out there is like, Phil, I'm just frustrated. My app isn't growing 3,000% at a day. Right. And I'm like, well, how much are you doing paid marketing? They're like, well, none. I'm like, how much content marketing are you doing? Well, I wrote a blog last year. I'm like, okay, cool. Right. So there's a couple things, right? There's just what the app system brings in, right? And then how do you grow them to keep them? And like, if you get in a week an increase in retention, just the current retention rate by like 1%, you're doing good, right? This is progress. Of course, you'd like to have more than a 1% per week increase, but if you maintain that and kind of grow it, you're doing great.
Yeah, and my personal advice to all founders, when they want to know what they should do to their apps, websites, whatever, just ask, not just thinking personally that okay, maybe I can implement such thing and I will grow. No, you not decide. Your users decide. Yeah,
Yes.
and no, ask yourself, ask your users, and they know, and then will tell you what you should do, what functionality you should add to you to grow. So the customer development interview, this is the key. So use it, please, and you will be succeed. I hope me and my product as well.
Yes. That's a beautiful share. I'm glad it came from your lips and not mine. Let me ask you a harder question, one a little further down that range. What ways have you been successful in reaching out to customers? Especially you have to be sensitive about identity. How have you been able to reach out to customers to have this conversation?
It's a very good question, because I tried like to cold outreach via email. I had a lot of script, big script, little like low script, personal, not personal. I offer some free periods, and unfortunately I have no replies. I have 2 replies out of 50 emails, and in the end I got only one call, to this guy from New York, and so I
2%.
decided,
That's pretty good.
yeah, but still I want more. So I started giving promo codes to my not users, like potential users. I offer even lifetime subscription for free, just asking, okay, I will give you this totally for free, but please, I want to ask you like in a month, like to share your feedback with me. So something like this. I also try and like to make some surveys inside app. Like, okay, guys, please share me how we can make the app even better. So something like little surveys, like 2, 3, 5 questions, like in order to attract anything. So if you there is some another like little tricks in the app. When you long tap on the app, like when you wanted to delete the app, you have to do long tap and then delete.
You can pop up a feedback.
Yeah. We added some rows like contact with CEO, and another one, find bug, share, and get promo code. And we are growing. Please give us a chance.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, give us a chance.
Give us a chance. We're still growing, guys. Yeah, we are not perfect. Please give us a chance. Maybe something like this. So it's some variants how we can get this feedback and review. So there are a lot of things. So if you have no replies in the emails, please don't be desperate. Like just thinking, like try to be creative. And everything will be okay.
Yeah, it's going to be okay. I like the way you say that. I warn my clients, I'm like, if you get like a 2% response on email surveys, amazing, right? Amazing. Like you probably like never heard anybody say that, right? You're like, no, I got like 2 or 4%. I'm like, I'm crying in my corner, right? But I'm drinking myself to sleep that night because nobody wants to talk to me. No, this is normal, right? People, especially from this, they don't maybe try to ignore it, right? It's a hard one to get this feedback. I love the I'm not going to reiterate them. I want people to listen to what you said because all the tricks and hints you gave, next level, very, very good ones. What's and you've said this thing. You've also said this, that you're looking when people go to close the subscription, you give this kind of human response, like, "Hey, I'm sorry it wasn't everything you ever dreamed of. We're still growing. Give us a chance. Maybe here's a free whatever," right? Our goal, see each and one of you successful with a happy life for the same reasons you installed the app. That human connection, I think, is huge.
Yeah.
What have you done outside of the app to help grow your business that's been working for you? And we only have like another 5 minutes of your time, and this went by so fast.
Outside the app, I visit conferences, different conferences all over the Europe. It's a good that we can get some grants for this, and we trying to visit like medtech conference, digital health conference. So maybe not so big, but focuses on particular domain like health tech and digital health. So because I wanted to meet people, I'm trying to meet people, to meet them face to face, tell them about exchange contact, because it's much more easier later to contact them in the email, LinkedIn, whatever, because sometimes it's quite difficult, like to have some connection, like cold outreach in LinkedIn. For now, I'm starting these things, and I see that is also conversion is low because I'm not an ex Google, not an ex Microsoft. I don't have like 5-10 exits with some $1 million company. So I think that if you can, please go to conferences, meet people in person, present him, showcase your app, participate, pitch competition, maybe with video booths. So be active in this field. This will help you like to grow. And it's also like points to get some articles to post in your social media, in your blogs, whatever. But be consistent and persistent, and just a little step by step, it will get some results. I see that many results you will see only with a time delay, in a 5 months, maybe in a 10 months. Yeah, our partnership. We got our partnership with the United Nations Population Fund, Philip, in a 1.5 year. So it's a long, hard process.
Yeah, but this is a big
yeah,
backer. Good job, Dennis.
this is the big, but you have to be ready and okay that the result can be in the future, not instant, not right now. And if you don't
Yep.
have right now, it's just keep calm. Like you can continue doing what you do, and then you will be rewarded.
Relationships take time to build, and ideas can be fast. So from conferences, I get a lot of ideas, and those can be executed fast, and they have quick results. But for most relationships, it takes time to nurture. They have to validate. They have to get confidence, right? Because in this age, we see so many people that are here today, gone tomorrow, and just the fact that, never mind 5 years, but just the fact that somebody's there for 3 months, 6 months, a year, right, and following up and touching back and building that relationship, it's huge. What? Okay, I have to ask, what is like there's conferences you go to for fun, right, and there's conferences you go to grow your business, right? In the regards to growing your business and this industry, right? If I can put you into the wellness industry kind of loosely, what is like the least successful conferences for business and the most successful conferences? Just one of each that you could recommend, if I could ask.
It depends on the domain. There are a lot of like hundreds of conferences. Like for me personal, I know the biggest conference was that I participated was Web Summit in Lisbon, Portugal. There are about 75,000 people there, and this was madness. So it was a good event, great event. I met a lot of people, but it wasn't so useful for me, like for my business.
Yep.
Yeah, but smallest one, like last year, we participated Healthtech conference in Munich, Germany, and there was about 2,000 people. Like you can compare, 75 and 2,000.
Yeah, 75 to 2,000. It's like a baby conference.
Yeah, it was just so little, but it was for my business much more beneficial and useful. So I met a lot of people, like because all of these 2,000 people was from your sphere.
Yep.
So it was great. So if you guys will choose like from big conferences and little conference, but more direct to you, please choose smaller one because it can be more beneficial.
Yeah, I think this is what I've heard from some of my most successful founders, like yourself, is that the big tech conferences, they're kind of fun, right? But to get that coordinated success out of it isn't really there. If you know your industry and you go to those industry specific conferences, even if it's not tech based, but it's acceptance of tech, there's some acceptance of that in the event, then you can really see a lot of quick success, right? And by quick, a year or two.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Wow, powerful words. Look, I want to thank you so much for your time today. I'll give you the last word if there's anything you want to share or say. Or
First of all, thank you, Phil, for this conversation. For this podcast. This is my first podcast in English. I hope I was
amazing.
Pretty clear. Yeah. So you're the first in my life, and I was I deeply thankful for you. So guys, please don't hesitate to pay attention to your health. Do checkups, visiting doctor if it needed. Learning, reading about your health, because health is the biggest wealth in your life, not money. The biggest wealth is your health. So pay attention to it, spend some time to your health, and live long, fulfilling life and happy life. So thank you, Dennis, for
Well
your
said.
attention.
Beautiful. Thank you for your time, Dennis. Was amazing.